Crankshaft position sensor problem, symptoms and fixes. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we break down everything you need to know in the simplest, clearest, and most exciting way possible. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever been driving down the highway and your car suddenly sputters, the tachometer drops to 0, and then the engine just dies on you? Well, today we're diving into the crankshaft position sensor, CKP, problem. The tiny $30 sensor that can literally immobilize your $30,000 car. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the 4 deadly symptoms of a bad CKP sensor and how to get back on the road without towing it to a super expensive shop. Trust me, you'll never look at a small piece of plastic with a wire on it the same way again. A quick reminder to subscribe, like, and share this video. First, let's cut through the tech jargon. What is this thing? The crankshaft position sensor, or CKP, is basically the conductor of your engine's orchestra. It sits right next to the crankshaft, which is what your pistons spin. As the crankshaft turns, the CKP sends 2 critical pieces of information to your car's main computer, the ECU. Engine speed, RPM, how fast the engine is spinning, and piston position, exactly where piston number 1 is. Why is this a big deal? Because the computer uses this data to decide the perfect time to fire the spark plug and the perfect time to inject the fuel. If this sensor fails, the computer is deaf and blind. It has no idea what your engine is doing, so it does the safest thing possible. It shuts the whole thing down. Because the failure is electronic, the symptoms are dramatic. Here are the 4 signs that your CKP sensor is waving the white flag. Symptom 1. The total blackout. This usually happens when the sensor fails completely while you're driving. You're cruising, then sputter, dead. The computer loses the signal and cuts the spark. Here's the key. After it cools down for 20 minutes, the engine might fire right back up. Why? Because sometimes these sensors fail when they get hot, and they work again once they cool. This is a classic but dangerous intermittent failure. Symptom 2. Erratic RPMs and rough idle. The CKP is responsible for measuring your RPMs. When it's starting to fail, the signal gets glitchy. This causes your idle to be rough, jumpy, or even surge. Your engine is literally running blind, getting spark at the wrong time, which feels like a violent shake. You might feel a noticeable hesitation or lack of power when you try to accelerate because the timing is totally wrong. Symptom 3, the dashboard light show. Of course, this is going to turn on your check engine light, or CEL. The good news is, a CKP failure almost always throws a dedicated code, typically a P335. If you have a cheap OBD2 scanner, which, by the way, you should, you plug it in, and if you see that P code, you know exactly where to start looking. Symptom 4, no start, just cranking. If the sensor is completely dead, your car will just crank without ever catching. The battery is fine, the fuel pump is fine. But since the computer doesn't know the piston position, it refuses to send the spark or the fuel pulse. No CKP signal, no fire. Simple as that. If you're liking this video so far, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. So you've got a P335 code or your car is dying hot. What's the move? The good news is this is often one of the easiest, cheapest fixes you can do yourself. Step 1. Locate the sensor. The location varies wildly. It's either on the side of the engine block, near the back of the oil pan, or sometimes on the bell housing between the engine and the transmission. Check your specific car manual or search on Google, because on some cars it's a pain, but on most it's actually pretty accessible. Step 2. The 10-minute swap. Once you find it, the process is usually 3 steps. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for safety, unplug the electrical connector, be gentle, these clips are fragile, and finally, remove the single mounting bolt. The sensor just slides right out. You clean the area, slide the new one in, bolt it down, and plug it back in. Easy money. The part costs around $30 to $50. A shop will charge you $200 to $400 because they include diagnostic time and labor. If you can handle a single bolt and a connector, you just saved yourself a bundle. Once you've swapped it, make sure to use your scanner to clear that P335 code. The crankshaft position sensor is a tiny part that controls your entire ignition and fuel system. Now that you know the 4 key signs, stalling, rough idle, the CEL, and the endless crank, you're ready to diagnose and fix the problem the instant it pops up. If this video gave you the confidence to tackle a CKP sensor replacement, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more fixes that save you serious cash. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been stranded by a bad sensor? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.